Hello, welcome to Chronicles of Thought. My name is Henry Fitzgerald, and I am a simple law student at Columbia University. In this video, I want to ask if you usually consider yourself a cold person. If your answer is yes or no, I must confess I intentionally made a mistake in the question because there is no such thing as occasionally being a cold person. Coldness must be with you at all times, since opportunities, negotiations, or even obstacles can arise at any moment, where the best approach is to be cold. Sometimes, even people very close to you might be hindering you, and you will need to do something about it. You will have to focus on not listening to your emotions and instead use only your rationality to solve everything in the best way. Therefore, coldness is not a behavior you should have occasionally. It is something that must be inherent in you, a well-informed behavior, so that at any moment you are prepared to use reason and not emotions. In this video, I will give you some tips to better and more clearly develop your coldness. So, let's get to the point. By the way, if you can, please leave a like to support the work done here. It helps a lot. And if you want to receive more content, follow the channel's page on Instagram. It's worth it. All right, let's get to the video. The first attitude: do not listen to your emotions. In these moments, a quick analysis is necessary. You know that situation where you're talking to someone and thinking, should I say that or not? You hesitate until you make a decision. Often, the urge to share something with them comes from our emotions. The problem is that many decisions made in such moments are also emotionally driven. At such times, use your reason. Think about how they might react to what you want to say. Evaluate whether it's truly worth sharing or if it's just your emotions pushing you. This analysis is crucial. For example, you're thinking about whether to tell a friend about a business plan you're working on. You're really eager to talk about it because you're excited. But here's the thing, you're feeling overly enthusiastic, which might be the main reason you want to share it. Analyze the advantages of telling this person. Are you just venting, or are there genuine benefits? And the disadvantages, what could they be? If you want my opinion, unless there's a clear advantage to telling your friend, then don't. It's not worth it. Contain your emotions during these moments because your emotional side is much more communicative than your rational side. Another attitude is to leave emotions aside to focus on something. For instance, you're upset because a family member living with you just argued with you, and now your mind is filled with thoughts about the fight. However, you have responsibilities to attend to, whether it's studying or professional work. What will you do? Will you listen to those thoughts that keep fueling your anger, potentially leading to another argument with your relative? Or will you focus on your responsibilities? Obviously, you need to focus on your tasks. In such moments, you can't keep feeding thoughts that evoke anger, happiness, or any intense emotion. If you keep dwelling on it, hours will pass, and you'll find yourself in the same place without having done anything productive. In other words, you wasted time feeding an emotion that isn't even important, instead of making your day more productive. So, take action by recognizing when an emotion is escalating and cut it off right away. By doing so, your mind clears up, allowing you to focus on your daily responsibilities. Now, let's talk specifically about anger. You'll encounter adversaries in life, and that's no secret. But if you're not cold enough to face these adversaries, you'll never defeat them. As Michael Corleone said in The Godfather Part 3, you must never hate your enemies because it clouds your judgment. He's absolutely right. If you hate your opponent too much, you won't be able to think clearly. Without clear thinking, you can't plan an effective strategy to defeat them. In moments of anger, you become easily manipulated. Your enemy can place a target in front of you, and you'll rush towards it like a bull, thinking you're causing damage, but in reality, you're being manipulated into actions that may harm you instead. As I said, in moments of manipulation, if you're too angry, you'll want to attack everything in front of you. But you won't realize that you're the main attraction in their spectacle. So never fall into the trap of hating your adversary. Instead, respect them. Only by doing so will you be able to analyze them coldly and gather the necessary information to defeat them. Speaking of anger, it's crucial to mention love as well, as it's a highly potent emotion. Love can blind you more than anger and can be even more painful. Therefore, love is something you must handle with care. Let's use romantic relationships as a general example of love. What I want to convey is not to become completely cold and devoid of love for the person by your side. Instead, be cautious not to nurture love to the point where it leaves no room for rationality. For instance, if your partner does something wrong that hurts you, you might think, "Oh, I love them, so I forgive them," believing that love is a good enough reason to stay with them. But if they've broken your trust, you must analyze objectively whether it's worth staying with them. Let your reason guide you. If the answer is no, then it's not worth it, despite your feelings. Always prioritize your rational side over letting love cloud your judgment. To conclude, let's talk about negotiations. In business dealings, you should rarely consider personal feelings unless it's to understand the other party's emotions for an advantage. However, if you're thinking of easing up in a negotiation just because the other party is a family member or close friend, forget it. That's a mistake. Business is business, and family or friendships are separate matters. This mindset is crucial, especially when money is involved. Always keep them separate. I hope you enjoyed this video and these tips. If so, please leave a like and share it to help with the channel's growth. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now, as it helps a lot and doesn't cost a thing. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time.